All right, so there you go, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Kola Olobodiyo. Perhaps we should begin with you, and Bruce in Enugu. I wonder what your initial thoughts are about these calls, because I'm not sure it's just a PDP thing. It does appear that even there have been calls as well from the All Progressive Congress for the resignation or the investigation, the questioning of the CBN governor. Nothing seems to be working.
Well, Nigeria started getting it wrong when we started employing bankers as CBN governors, or when we started, employing sitting managing directors as governors of CBN. I mean, CBN, governor of CBN used to be a very, very hallowed, position. Remember the days of Ola Vicent. We remember the days of Ahmed, and some of those glorious times of the CBN. Obasanjo tried when he employed Charles Soludo, who was a brilliant economist, and we saw the changes he did. We saw the innovations he brought to the banking sector. We saw the evolution of our bank from those old and ancient banks to the new era. That was done because he was a pure economist. Now things started changing. We started having MDs of banks. From immediately being MD, they become governors of CBN. So they have a primary constituency. Their primary constituency is not the Nigerian economy. Their primary constituency is the first of all to the bank where they came from as a brand, and then secondly to the banking family, which is the extended family. Therefore, their allegiance is first of all to ensure that commercial banks, merchant banks, and whatever banking structure that they came out from survive first, even if it means to the detriment of the economy. Therefore, all we see from the days of even Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, and the current Mefele and all those things, what we are saying is that the boardroom competition and brand competition that was taking place in the commercial bank were now brought into the CBN, because an MD of one of the commercial bank who was engaged in this competition has become the regulator. So what do we see? From the forex, from the monetary policy, to the forex exchange policy, to the Bitcoin policy, to all the waivers, all the supplying of forex by CBN, all those things are geared towards not favoring the Nigerian economy, but favoring the banks and other commercial institutions, which is now what Emefiele is representing. So no matter what happens in the CBN, it is for the protection of the elite, for the protection of the banking sector, and for the protection of those who are scamming the Nigerian economy to sustain their own business, and not for the Nigerian economy. As far as we continue employing bank MDs to become our bank regulator, CBN, we shall continue to have this problem. Secondly, the issue of access. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria has too much power, has too much access to the treasury. It has too much power. It has too much access to cash. Therefore, even if you bring a saint to that seat without actually doing something about the acts of the CBN and curbing the powers of the governor of the CBN to have access to cash, we will continue to be in serious trouble. That is my painful submission.
Very fascinating insights rather. Gentlemen, Tony, let's begin with you, Tony. I wonder if you're going to react to some of the things he has said. Is that the problem? The fact that an MD of a commercial bank is made the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, is that questionable?
It's not supposed to be questionable, but that is what we see today. But really, it will play out that way. I work in Bank A, I work in Bank B, you work in Bank C. Tomorrow you're the CBN governor. Of course, you protect yours first. You've been there, you go through in that particular bank. And so when you turn the regulator, of course, certain things are you're going to defer some, turn blind eye to most of the infractions that will be coming from that side. So that's why when Soludo was governor of CBN, we saw the revolution, the reform, the massive reform that the guy introduced. But for political reasons, most of these things And that's why we're suffering today. I remember when they wanted to reform the
Naira dollar.
The Naira and all that. Nigeria would be better today. We won't be talking about Naira devalued to 600 from 168 in 2015. And then somebody sitting down there, just the moment he took over from the bank. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Today, you see a CBN governor going to the north, going to farmers, funding cattle, whatever, rice production. And you have small businesses in Nigeria that are yearning for assistance from these banks. You don't get it. So, for you to sit down and watch Nigerian economy from the CBN angle, and you pump money to make sure that the dollar does not get devalued every week. That was what was happening between 2015, 16, 17, 18. That's about 7 years you've been on that state. This, I'm reacting to what the PDP said. The APC interim secretary, national secretary, was on TV. He was even the one that said that the CBN, you know, they have deviated.
Because I was going to ask if he's a member of the APC.
Yes, he's the interim national secretary.
No. I mean, the CBN governor, is he supposed to be a member of the party?
It's not supposed to be, but you know what is happening in Nigeria now, which wasn't there before. That the moment the ruling party appoints you, even from the private sector, you start behaving like a card-carrying member. It's under this president's administration, I noticed it. When a Malami will go and swear in a secretary of APC, you know, it has never happened before. I need to be corrected. It has never happened. So we see most of them most of them behaving as if they are card-carrying members, just to make somebody happy and retain such position, even if you're performing or not. Or not. When the Naira start dividing, just imagine. Between 168, then when he took over, and now, and the next thing you think is Abuki effects that you're going to look after. See, let's be sincere. 7 years on that seat is too much. For Mr. President to even renew the appointment, I was surprised. I was surprised because I don't know what he's doing fantastically on that chair that called for his renewal. At times when you sit in an office for a too long a time, you don't see problem anywhere anymore. Until you bring in a new person, those things you don't call problem, they are the real problem. So that's why occasionally you let new people in. But when you renew, in other words, the guy is not going to go to maybe 2024 after the reign of the present administration. And you cannot, when the economy is gone and we're watching it.
All right, Stephen, I wonder what your thoughts are. What does the presidency or the president need to do at this point? It does appear the pressure is increasing on a daily basis. Should the CBN governor be fired? Should he be made to face questioning from the EFCC?
If I were the president, I would have fired him long ago.
Why?
To say the truth, the economy has not done well. The economy have not done well. The private sector. Do you know?
I remember
he should resign himself.
Do you know how many people lost their jobs between 2015 and now? And this is supposed
I may
to be,
not know, but I know that this position, the chair, and provided many employments.
They
said so. So who am I?
The head of the Nigerian economy is the CBN governor. Forget it. Yes, we have a minister of economic planning, we have a minister of finance, we have whoever. But the person that drives the policy. There was an economic
team set up with very strong.
Have you ever heard about it?
Very strong.
Have you heard of the economic team doing anything? The person that is supposed to drive the policy, the economic policy of this government, monetary, most importantly, is the CBN governor. And the CBN governor has not done anything. I'm sorry to say that he's a monumental failure. Because
that's really very strong.
Yes, of course. Because if a naira was exchanging for 160 naira or 170 as of when he took over in 2015, and now 7 years down the road you are talking about 600 naira, then you ask yourself what happened. All right. Is somebody not vested with the responsibility of monitoring the economy? Why did the things slide down to this level? If I were the president, I would have long sacked him.
All right.
Because things were just not working.
So, Ambrose, we're going to round off on this very shortly because we need to get feedbacks from our viewers and those who are also watching and listening to us from wherever across the country and around the world. But let me also ask you the same question. If you were Mr. President, would you fire him at this point? Or let me also ask you, is the EFCC waiting for some sort of instructions, or so to say, before he's been invited for questioning or investigations are being carried out?
Been fired, and I don't know the reason why. Because even recently, he was credited to have want to do one e-naira for the crypto platform e-naira, and then he went to engage a company, a startup company from the Caribbean that have no serious experience in that regard. Why do we have a lot of Nigerian fintech companies here? I think the CBN governor is behaving as if he's a competitor to commercial banks and fintechs and some other things, instead of being the regulator. He has delved into the waters of competition. As someone said, he's going to give loans, he's going to give this. What of commercial bank, he has taken it over. He has refused to restrict himself to policy and the monetary policy and fiscal policy. And because he has lost vision, he now entered the space of commercial banking and other things. Therefore, he has lost his vision and has become clueless. So he should not sit there because he's putting us into more trouble.
All right, Ambrose, well said. Let's take a breath. I'll be back in just a moment as we continue the conversation. But when we return, we can take your calls and feedbacks. We can take your text messages, and of course on WhatsApp as well. As usual, if you have to call, we always have this deal we have to make with you every Saturday. Ensure that you move away from your TV set or just turn down the volume of your TV set completely. I'm sure you can do that for us. Ensure your language, of course, is TV friendly. Okay? Do not use abusive words so that the powers that be do not come for our heads. We're back in just a moment. Please stay with us. All right, thanks for staying with us. This is Editors Forum. We are live from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. We zero in on the biggest stories for the week, and we've discussed just a moment ago the calls for the resignation of the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Let's get to take your calls and feedbacks in just a moment. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, just tell us your name and your location, and then go ahead with your thoughts.
My name is Abiola. I'm calling from Shashi West Local Government.
All right. Please go ahead with your thoughts and move away from your TV set, please.
West Local Government. Yeah, we're talking about CBN governor and other issues related. However, what is actually working in Nigeria? There is nothing working in Nigeria. And the body language of presidency is not even friendly to the people.
All right. I'm sure you made your points. Thank you so much indeed for your thoughts. We'll take more calls in the next 5 minutes or less, and then we'll go to our last topic for today. Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Julius is my name, calling from Shomolu.
All right, from Shomolu. Go ahead with your thoughts, please.
Sorry, I discovered that we see that the PDP are asking for the resignation or sack of the CBN. Then the question to ask, if the power that put him there love the way this thing is happening, then what will he do? Remember, when President Buhari was in UK for 6 months, and Oshibajo took over, the dollar came down from 500 naira to $1 to 300 naira to show that the will to do it by the vice president is there. But the moment the president came back, this thing started going up again, and that's what we are experiencing till now. So if you are calling for the start of the president, of the governor of Central Bank, when president is willing and is not willing to make a change, there is nothing he could do. They will be the way it's going because they benefit from it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. Indeed, we do have the numbers on the screen, so You can call us and share with us your thoughts and reservations. We just need feedbacks from you. We'll take a few more calls. Let's see now if we can take some messages here. This one says, please, the money Nigeria have borrowed should be paid by politicians that is holding portfolios, because they borrow in the name of Nigeria and share among themselves every weekend. He says, I need to know the venue of where they share this money every weekend so I can be there as well.
They'll never tell you.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Your name and geolocation, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Adela. I'm calling back. I called earlier.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. The issue is that I support the discussion said earlier about recruiting the director of banks as CBN governor. It is totally wrong. In the history of this country, we used to have the professor of history as the man CBN governor, and he has done wonderfully well. The professor of Adabushi, Roman, Soludu, and the likes. All these people did not came from banks. They came as an expert, as a technocrat, and they did well. It is even fair, I don't mean Sanusi, but eventually is a capital failure. He has not done anything meaningful. So it is right if Nigerians call for his sack.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This one says, putting the economy problems on the CBN governor is unfair. The politicians that were elected, policymakers, I'm not sure I can make sense of this. The politicians that were elected, policymakers, okay, we have to skip that. But it goes ahead to say Nigerians are too much interested in imported goods, no production. Manufacturing factors, he says, zero. Okay. Apostle Chris Nwandu says the CBN governor is working for his employer. Thank you so much, Chris, whoever his employer is. All right. This one says, hi, is Nigeria caused to always borrow? May God save us so upon all the resources we have. Thank you so much for your feedback.